Ferguson, Cleveland, New York. The scenes of police shootings that have prompted protests and controversy, and now conversations that seem more relevant than ever before. In the last hour of the News at 5, we introduced you to this Jacksonville mom who wants to make sure her son knows what to do and not do if he ever has an encounter with a police officer. She showed him this poster that's been shared all over the country in recent months. 10 rules.
They find themselves in an encounter with police. Melanie Lawson brought in News 4 Jax crime and safety analyst Gil Smith to answer questions this family and others like yours may have.
Naisha Howard wants to make sure her 11-year-old son, Sean, knows to be respectful of police and demonstrate control, and at the same time, not fear officers. So we asked Gil Smith to come in to give Sean an officer's perspective.
This is Naisha, this is Sean.
This is Sean's first police encounter.
When you shake somebody's hand, put a little grip on it.
His mom hopes it will be his last, but it's a good place to start, and Sean had some questions.
Say somebody killed somebody or tried to kill the police, does that give the police the right to kill that person?
Now, police do have the right to use deadly force if they feel that their life is in danger or if that person is about to harm someone else with deadly force. Then the police officer does have the right to do that. It's just one of the powers that police officers have.
One that Gil says is a last resort.
Police officers don't wake up in the morning and say, boy, I want to kill somebody today. Oh, I hope I get into a situation where I get to shoot someone.
And as Sean learned earlier, behavior that might seem innocent to him could be looked at as threatening to an officer.
Well, if a police officer is approaching you, if you have your hands in your pockets. Now, why do you think that would be bothersome to a police officer if you have your hands in your pockets?
Because you never know, you could have something valuable in there. You could have a weapon or a gun.
Very good, because sometimes people put their hands in their pockets to get a weapon. Now, it can be a knife or a gun. Now, police officers are going to be very defensive because they approach people who sometimes want to hurt them.
For the most part, Gil agreed with the 10 rules of survival, but he also says it's important for children and adults to have a positive experience or, if possible, a relationship with police. Years ago, a police encounter changed his life.
Because of some experiences that I had with police officers, I had a strong dislike for police officers. Very strong dislike, some incidents that occurred in college.
But he goes on to explain that once he moved into an apartment complex with officers nearby, his point of view changed.
And just by talking to them, and them talking to me, explaining things to me, going on ride-alongs, I had a different understanding that way. But still, it still exists, though, that sometimes people are treated unfairly. But at least with that relationship, I had an understanding of police officer and police culture.
Gil told Sean this list is a good guide to follow and works when everyone plays by the rules, civilians and officers.
Police officers are just like everyone else. They have good days, they have bad days. They have personal issues, and they don't always, some officers don't always treat people fairly. So when a police officer is doing the job properly and treating you fairly, this will work out just fine.
The FBI director, James Comey, wants conversations like these to happen not only in our neighborhoods, but also in our police communities to grow trust and make sure that bias is pushed to the side and everyone acts ethically and responsibly. Because like Gil said, it does take everyone to be on the same page to ensure a fair outcome. Melanie Lawson, Channel 4, the local station.